On the printhead replacement for the UVx60 model that we have. You see that I've already powered the printer off, unplugged the power in the back as well as the USB cable. I've already went ahead and removed the cover that's housing and covering the actual printhead itself. It's out on 4 Phillips screws, just go ahead and remove that. I've also gone ahead and pushed the ink back from the dampers. And you see here at the back of the printer, the ink bags laid up vertically, so when I pushed them back, the ink went back to the bags. A Phillips screwdriver. What you're going to do is I've already removed the head to the center position. Get a lot of paper towel. I've already cleaned up the ink that's spilled, so obviously you see it's fairly clean here. Now, the head itself is held in and screwed in with a metal plate with 3 Phillips screws, 1, 2, and there's a third one in the back there. Let's go ahead and actually unscrew that. First one, second one, and the third one's right dead center in the rear. And you know it's in between that vertical or the center here. So once that's done, now you can wear gloves of course, but I don't have any on. The actual plate just goes straight up just like that. And you see that screw just fell out. So I'm going to grab a paper towel. And of course, clean up any excess ink here that you find. Just so that it gives us a better working area. Once that's done, we're going to take a closer look at the bottom of the printhead here. And you see here, there's also ink at the bottom, so we're just going to wipe that clean as well. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the head cable. And then we're going to work on the actual metal plate and housing or the manifold itself. So remove the protective tape here that I have at the top. There's also protective tape at the bottom. Reason for that is just to ensure that ink does not spill that compartment and cause damage to these metal pins. These metal pins are very delicate and there should be no damages to them. See, that's clean. Let's go on the opposite side, take a closer look, and that's clean as well. So I'm just gonna remove that tape because we're gonna apply new tape to it afterwards and reinstall it. Set this aside for now. Let's go ahead and flip the printer head over. This is the new head replacement. You see, I've gone ahead and removed the 3 screws from this. Very important. Do not separate the print head from the base of the nozzles. It has to remain connected, as well as this metal plate as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's remove the first screw. The second screw. And the third one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly push up, just like that. Okay. We're going to take the same plate, position it directly over top of the replacement. And now we're going to screw this back into place here. Make sure it lines up as well. For example, you see the positioning block here and here, and they must line up as well as the screw holes. And you know it if it's misaligned, if you cannot screw it in correctly, of course. The second, and then the third one, and then I go ahead and I tighten the screws after I've tightened up the third one. So make them a little tighter. 2 and 3, and that's the replacement. So what you're going to do is, of course, do the total opposite. We're going to plug in the top head cable first, And make sure it's completely clean and dry, of course. Line up the pins and then insert it in. So that's the first one here. This is the bottom pin now. Do the same thing. Make sure it's all lined up perfectly. Then I'm going to grab my masking tape, cover the top, cover the bottom. You reposition the print head into the same position again and screw it in with the three same Phillips screws. And the last step is, of course, repriming the dampers, sealing them over top, putting the metal housing cover back on the unit, and you're ready to run the clean command followed by a nozzle check pattern.